perfect question. Describe what happens in the 3 stages of the cell cycle. So this is obviously a harder question. 5 marks. So we're going to go through stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. We know from the diagram stage 2 is mitosis. So we know stage 1 comes before mitosis and stage 3 comes after mitosis, and we need to get 5 marks. Can you put some answers in the chat, please? So in the first stage of the cell cycle, the DNA replicates to form 2 copies of each chromosome. The cell grows and copies. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant, clearly. Bella, chromosomes are duplicated. Brilliant. Excellent, excellent answers, guys. Yeah, they normally word it different each year. I'm going to show you what I think is the best way to word it. Chromosomes are duplicated, subcellular structures increase in number, nucleus divides, 1 set of chromosomes is pulled. Oh my gosh, these are really good answers. Really good answers. Yeah, and the stages are called interphase, if you know that word. And then we've got stage 2 is mitosis and stage 3 is cytokinesis. But you don't have to use those words for GCSE. So you could have just said stage 1, this happens, stage 2, this happens, stage 3, this happens. But I'm very, very impressed. So Sophie, that's a good question. Cytokinesis is both of those things. So the cytoplasm divides and the cell membranes divide. That's cytokinesis, both of those things together. Chromosomes line up at the middle of the cell and each set are pulled apart to. How are you guys so good at this? How are you guys so good at this? Right, I am incredibly impressed. Right, I've had to put this on because obviously there's a lot of different things you can say. So stage 1, which is interphase, if you want to use the name of the stage, but you don't have to. The cell grows. You get an increase in the number of organelles. This was actually on last year's paper, by the way. There was a question specifically about what has to happen before mitosis. And you had to say one of these things. So either the cell grows, increase in the number of organelles, or increase in ribosomes, increase in mitochondria, and the DNA replicates. We don't for AQA know, Ariana. You don't have to know the individual stages of mitosis for AQA. We did, Kiko, we did. Kiko's on the main course. We did this about 4 times, didn't we? Can you tell us which points to add to make it? So I would go for, shall I circle? I would have said in stage 1, the DNA replicates and there's an increase in the number of organelles. But any of the alternatives are fine. You could have said the cell grows. You could have said increase the number of ribosomes. And then stage 2, there's 2 things you have to say. There's no options. You have to say this, and you have to say this. And then for the last one, the cytoplasm or the cell membrane, like, there's not a lot of options. There's not a lot of options. Increase in subcellular structures, yes, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. We quite often call them subcellular structures. Stage 2 is mitosis, and stage 3, if you want to call it cytokinesis, you can do. 1 set of chromosomes. So the chromosomes line up in the middle like this, don't they? In the center of the cell. And they attach to what we call spindle fibers. So these chromosomes have obviously been replicated, which is why they look like X's, yeah? Because you've copied each chromosome. And what's going to happen if I show you with this one is we're going to pull the chromosomes apart like that. So one set is going to get pulled to one side like this, and the other set is going to get pulled to the other side like that. Yes, I always say poles. Pole is a perfect alternative. In fact, it's better, Farah. And yes, Mika, the spindle fibers do contract, which is kind of a bit beyond GCSE knowledge for AQA, but for sure you can say it if you know it. So the spindle fibers contract, which is what I've drawn with my little dots there. The spindle fibers contract and pull the chromosomes apart. And the best way to word it, because it has come up a few times and students get quite muddled, the best way to word it is this: one set of chromosomes is pulled to each opposite end or each opposite pole. Okay. And you should be using the word pulled or moved, because some students kind of just imply that they move on their own, but they are being pulled, they are being moved to opposite poles, to opposite sides or opposite ends of the cell. Okay, we don't need to learn about metaphase, anaphase, telophase or prophase for AQA. Can you say nuclear division occurs in mitosis? Yes, you can. That would be perfect. Whoa, what has just happened? That would be perfect for this marking point here. The nucleus divides or nuclear division. That would be perfect. Only one banana. Do you need to say both the cytoplasm and the cell membrane divide, or only one? Because there's a slash, remember, a slash means or. So you could say both, but you don't have to. Yes, you could, Goose. Goose, for stage 3, if you literally just said cytokinesis, you could have got that mark, couldn't you? Which makes it a lot easier. Yeah, Goose. Okay. Any more questions about that? It's one of those answers that you do have to learn off by heart. Yes, there was only 2 marks available for stage 2, mitosis, Jeanette, and that was one set of chromosomes is pulled to each end of the cell or each opposite pole, and the nucleus divides. Mitosis literally means nuclear division, okay? Interphase comes before it, cytokinesis comes after it, but mitosis is literally nuclear division. So that's where we actually separate the chromosomes to the opposite poles and the 2 new nuclei form. Yes, two genetically identical daughter cells would be excellent. Excellent. Okay, come on, let's see if we can crack on. When and where does mitosis occur? I'm going to have to answer that. So it occurs for growth, replacing cells, and repairing tissues. So three instances where we need to use mitosis. Okay, it's just normal cell division, isn't it? It's not making gametes, it's not meiosis, it's normal cell division. It's for growth, replacing cells, and repairing tissues. Okay, perfect.